Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome to my office once again. Today I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of daily driving at K&N Silverado, but this is the revised version. I just got it retuned, so it's obviously different than it was before as far as drivability. So I just want to do a little recap as far as just to touch upon a few points that I made in my other video. One of the points was in the very beginning of the other video was gas mileage. So far, I mean, I did go on a trip recently, and my average miles per gallon is 14.3 miles to the gallon as of right now with this new tune. But there's a few different variables as far as that goes. Yes, I am getting better gas mileage right now, what it says. But I did recently evacuate from the hurricane, so that's all highway miles. So I'm obviously going to get better gas mileage on the highway than driving in the city and doing city driving. So that's why my gas mileage right now is higher. I'll give it a few more months on this average, a few more tanks of gas just to see what it's going to be like as far as the gas mileage goes and the gas mileage with this new tune. I'm only expecting 1 mile to the gallon better. I think that is being fairly conservative on my expectations, but yeah, I'm hoping it is a little bit better. Plus, how it's driving right now is changing my driving habit. I definitely don't need to step on it a little more than usual, or I have to put in manual mode to change my own gears because it just does it better. I'm not going to get too much into that. That's in another video that I've already posted, so I'll put the link up here. So yeah, as far as the gas mileage goes, I am technically getting better at the moment, but that is also because I was just driving on the highway. But you will see a decrease in gas mileage after doing such modifications to your truck as like putting a bigger camshaft in there, maybe headers, probably lower the gas mileage as well. It all depends on if you're actually making more power, you're using more fuel and air, so you are going to decrease your gas mileage. Now, another thing I addressed in the other video is that the shift points were different. That is the case as well. Like my shift points are a lot different than stock, but how the tuner managed to have them shift made it really drivable with the stock torque converter with this bigger camshaft. Basically, before with the tune, it would shift through all 6 gears as soon as I hit like 45 miles an hour. So it would be bogging down, really couldn't get any power out of it, just mid-range, none of that. So it definitely didn't feel like it was really drivable. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But since all your power is moved up in the RPMs, you're gonna have trouble in the lower RPMs, obviously. So with the older tune, it would just bog down all the time. And so you gotta really make sure the tuner knows what he's doing as far as tuning the transmission, and you gotta let him know you got a stock torque converter if he's not there to tune it. If he does a remote tune or anything like that, you can probably tell through the tuning just by the RPMs how it reacts and all that. But with a stock torque converter, you're just gonna want those shifts higher in general, just so you're always in the power band. I wouldn't say always in the power band, but just so you got a good low end going. Just cruising around, you got a good mid-range, so it just feels a lot better, and it's almost like you're driving around with a higher stall converter in the second, third, fourth gears, just because it's going to be up in the higher RPMs. Now with that, you may lose a little bit more gas mileage just because you're running a little bit more higher RPMs all the time. Like right now I'm going 40, cruising around 1600 RPMs, which is higher than before. I usually would do 40 and then be cruising at 1000 RPMs, which is fine. I mean, I would get halfway decent gas mileage, I guess, for a truck going 40 miles an hour. But as far as power at all, it would just be a total slug. And then it's got to drop the gears if you need to pass someone. It was just really annoying. So with this new tune, it's definitely just drivable in that aspect. So you don't really need a higher stall torque converter if you're not going with too big of a cam. If you're just going with like a pretty mild street cam, you'll be fine. But it is still recommended that you get a higher stall torque converter just for drivability wise. But as far as cons, that's really the only 2 points I need to recap on. I don't have any surging anymore, which is good. I thought that was just because of the torque converter, but so far, I mean, it just feels like that's what the tune had. Like, just a little bug in the tune, I guess. I have no idea. I'm not a tuner whatsoever. but I'm assuming something was wrong with the tune. So it surged forward, causing me to jump forward quite a bit randomly. So it's kind of scary sometimes, especially if you don't have the foot on the brake hard enough so you actually move forward unexpectedly. So that is no longer there, so that is perfectly fine. Now that's all I really need to recap on though on the cons though. There wasn't really too much as far as cons with camming your Silverado, other than that you don't have any low end torque and then the gas mileage, and that can be fixed. Not the gas mileage, that can't be fixed. If you were concerned about gas mileage, then don't do anything to your vehicle, let alone buy a truck. But the low end torque problem can easily be fixed with a higher stall torque converter. Sorry, I just lost train of thought. It was a nice SRT8 Jeep Cherokee. But as far as the pros from the other video, they're about the same. No matter what, if you cam it, it's going to sound good. It's always going to sound different with each vehicle, just because you're going to have different cam specs. Your exhaust is going to be different diameter exhaust, different size headers, just different muffler, a different tune. Everything's going to be different, so it's not going to sound exactly like anything else. So it's just going to have its own unique sound to it, basically. In my personal opinion, there's nothing better sounding than just a V8. I mean, I know the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all that with their V10s, V12s, they sound pretty sick. But as far as the good old American horsepower, some bald eagles, that you can't get past that. That just sounds way too good. Now, one of the pros as well, and I said it in the last video, but for some reason it got a lot of hate as far as people saying I was seeking attention, all that stuff, whatever. But the truck does draw attention to people, especially people that are gearheads like me. Like, I like vehicles that have modifications done to it. It doesn't matter. If I see it and I like it, I will go up to the person, I'll talk to them about it, or I'll just drool over the car if they're not there. If you do stuff to your vehicle, people are going to admire it. People are going to hate it as well. Now, I wasn't thinking high of the truck itself as far as it being like the coolest thing out there. That is definitely not the case. But when you hear just a cammed V8 coming at you, or just driving past you, or just idling, it obviously just sounds good. And so people are just going to go up and ask you about it, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. It just happens. Like, people just go up and ask you, hey, what kind of cam you got in there? Is that thing cammed? Or that thing sounds cool? What's the exhaust? It's just gonna happen. Yes, it does get annoying as far as it being loud. I hate driving in neighborhoods at night because the truck is loud. I feel like I'm waking up everyone. But I mean, that basically is it as far as the pros and cons of drivability. It's just a quick little recap. I know I probably rambled longer than I wanted to, just because it's a recap video. But definitely take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, each vehicle is going to be different as far as the modifications. So, I mean, do what you want to do with your vehicle. I'm just trying to help y'all out a little bit, just because I know for me it was a little bit harder to figure things out a little bit whenever I started doing some modifications. But yeah, just do whatever you want. Don't take everything so hard, I guess. That should be a life lesson. Just take everything with a grain of salt. Well, the video is basically over, and so watch the other video, see how it is. I know it's not perfect, but definitely check that out. Definitely check out the new tune I got. The guy that tuned it is pretty good. Definitely just changed how this thing drives. And check out all my other videos. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And yeah, so I'll see y'all next video.